So the first thing I need is a roof over my head. Poncho. If I was sick or weak and it was going to put too much stress on my body to try to build a shelter, I would just put on all of the items of clothing I have, cover up with the poncho on top of that black nylon shell, wrap up just as completely as I could, and go around gathering all of the leaves and cut some boughs and just sleep out under the stars. And then if it started raining, I would, sort of prop myself up or lean up against the tree and just huddle down and let the rain wash off of me and try to doze as best I could in that relatively uncomfortable position. Get a fire started to create some radiant warmth in this area. That would be an adequate shelter in temperatures down to about freezing, just to make it through the night. But the first thing I'm gonna do is get this roof over my head. One possibility is to tie it up like a shed, like just a low shed, right over here and out this way. Another is to make kind of an A-frame. So I've got a ridge line in the middle and I make an A-frame roof. That's a little too complicated for the amount of time that we have. So what I'm gonna do is find some way to anchor this down here and there and then create my shelter this way. Why this way? Because that cold breeze is coming down off the hill and I want this to block it. I don't want to work up much of a sweat and then get a chill when it cools off later. When you come to a place like this and you're going to make your bed, don't clear everything out of the way. I know there's a tendency to clear everything out so you can, make it smooth and everything, but just feel where the lumps are and pull them out without clearing everything up, because you want to leave the dry leaves and twigs on the top instead of stirring up all the damper stuff from the bottom. So this is very dry, but right down here in this bed, the dirt is pretty damp. I'm going to put these corners down in the ground through these loops. The way I'm going to do that is with a couple of anchors. So I'm going to take this loop, I'm going to stick the anchor down in the ground and hold this corner down that way. So I don't have any anchors, I'm going to have to fashion them. I want the main piece of the anchor to be fairly sturdy and have a fork in it. So like this is too thin down here, this is just about right. The fork, now all I need is to sharpen this so I can stick it in the ground. It'd be better if this was straight, but that's what I got. That might do it. If it doesn't, I can sharpen it some more, but I need to move on. So there's one. Let's try it and see. Yeah, this stick's a little thick. The loop can't make it up to the fork, so the stick won't bury deep enough. Try to trim it a little bit so the loop can slide over that knot. It should be smooth enough. Let's try it again. This anchor is so long that when I strike it, it bends instead of driving. So I'm going to cut it shorter. Okay, let's try it again. A lot of this has more to do with experimentation than it does with really knowing what you're doing. Okay. Okay, I want a loop on the end, so I'm going to tie a small bowline. See, now I have a loop. Now I need to estimate the length here to where I'm tying it out. So I'm going to go that length plus this much more. Run the loop through here. and then run the standing part through the loop. Tie this up here, and tie a rolling hitch on the end. The thing about a rolling hitch is it won't slip back. I can tighten it, and it holds. You really need to know your knots, so I'm going to do a new segment on the 7 most important knots. So I've got an interesting situation here. I want to take this cord out this way and tie it right out here where I don't have a branch. And I can't do that. So I've got to do something else. You're going to learn with me whether this works, okay? I'm just going to try something, and if it doesn't work, I'll try something else. But I'm going to give myself plenty of slack in the line here, cut off an excess, run it through here. And then I'm just going to take a big wad of branches and just kind of wrap them. Run all this through it, tighten down there, keep it from slipping as much. Okay, and then I'll use that rolling hitch. Get it down. Okay, so I've got a start here of a shelter. Okay. Ooh, I should have checked this first. Here, tie it down lower. I'm just going to tie it off like this. Wow, this really makes a huge difference. I can feel the cold breeze coming down off the hill, and I get up under here and it stops completely. That was a smart move. All these twigs are just going to act as a framework for what I put on top of it, which you will see in just a few moments. It's getting colder rapidly as the sun goes down. All right, come here and I'll show you what we're going to use for bedding. All these weeds are going to make an adequate bed. Hey, I'm not pretending that this is comfortable, okay? It's not going to be comfortable, but it's going to be warmer than if I didn't have it.